All right, everyone, let's get started. It's 6 o'clock, and good evening to my fellow board members, our community members that are joining us virtually and on Facebook, as well as our employees, our staff members, our administrators. Thank you for joining us this evening. Today is March the 18th, 2021, and this is our SAU 39 school board meeting. So let's get started with our right to know script. They will be conducting a school board meeting of the SAU Consolidated School Board. Before we get started, I'll read through a checklist to ensure the meeting that we are holding is in compliance with the right to know law. As chairperson of the SAU 39 Consolidated School Board, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with Governor's Emergency Order Number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-4 and its extensions, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note, there is no physical location to observe or listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. In accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming, number one, that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone, with additional access possible by video and other electronic. We are utilizing Zoom for this electronic meeting. All members of the school board and select district staff have the ability to communicate contemporaneously in this meeting through this platform. And the public has access to contemporaneously watch and or listen to this meeting on Zoom and via phone by following the directions and links provided on our website, www.sau39.org. We have provided public notice of necessary information for accessing the meeting. We are providing a mechanism for the public to alert this body during the meeting if there are any problems with access. If anyone has a problem, please email awallace@sau39.org. Again, that's awallace@sau39.org. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting, we will be adjourned and we will reschedule. Please note that all votes taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. And finally, let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state where they are and if anyone else is in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. So I'll now call the roll. Ms. Kuzma.
Kuzma, I am at home and alone.
Thank you. Mr. Gothier.
Gothier is home by himself.
Ms. Beam.
Home alone. Everyone else just went to boba.
Scroogen. I don't see Ms. Scroogen in attendance just yet. Mr. Conklin.
He will not be here tonight, most likely.
Mr. Conklin is absent. Mr. Gronstra.
I am home and alone.
Mr. Coughlin.
Home alone.
Ms. Taylor.
Home and alone.
Mr. Torres.
I'm home, but currently alone.
Thank you. Ms. Grund.
I am home and alone.
Thank you. Mr. Glover.
Glover is home and alone.
Ms. Lawrence. Do not yet see Ms. Lawrence. Mr. Eckhoff.
I'm home alone.
Thank you. Ms. Hinckley. Don't see Ms. Hinckley. Mr. St. Dennis. He had contacted me earlier. He believed that he was going to be also absent. And just a point of order, Mr. Steele, do we have a quorum issue if Mount Vernon only has 2 members present?
No, the quorum is determined by the overall board membership, and it's not set by any one specific board.
Great, thank you. All right, let's get started then, and hopefully our other members can join us once they are available. We're about to go into non-public for the members of the public that are watching. What I'm going to ask is Mr. Steele just quickly articulate the process of our business search. As you can tell by our agenda at 6:45, we're going to be coming out of non-public and listening to and entertaining our superintendent's nomination for our business administrator. I've asked the superintendent to quickly articulate how that process went, how it was invoked, who participated in the process, and more importantly, other information that I think is important for the public to know about how we are searching, found, and are going to nominate a business administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have posted the position well over a month and a half ago for the role. We received 5 completed applications, and after receiving those applications, we went through a very thorough search process. That search process started with screening interviews with myself and the members of the senior leadership team on March the 4th. We screened 4 qualified candidates at that time. After one of the candidates who had applied withdrew their application, so we interviewed the other 4. After that, there was a committee that was comprised of the 4 principals of each of the schools, the senior leadership team, and 2 board representatives. And that committee held interviews on March 8th with 3 nominees or 3 candidates. From that committee, the committee recommended 2 finalists to the final interview round. That round was held on March 16th, this past Monday, with myself and each of the 4 board chairs. Those 2 candidates that were interviewed, from there, one was selected by that committee to come forward this evening to the SAU board. As of yesterday, late afternoon, that candidate has agreed to a tentative offer subject to the board's ratification this evening. And so that concludes the process. As with any nomination to the SAU board, it's my responsibility to make the nomination and the board's responsibility to elect that person to the role.
Great, thank you, sir. And for members of the public that are in attendance this evening on the Zoom, I would ask that you please disconnect now. We're going to be making a motion to go into non-public, and we will return promptly at 6:45. I'm committed to making sure that we are efficient in our deliberations and conversation, and we will join you exactly at 6:45. So if you can just drop off, and I will entertain a motion to go into non-public now.
I'll make the motion, Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Gronstra. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Glover. Let's do a roll call vote. Ms. Kuzma?
Kuzma, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Gothier.
Gothier, yes.
Ms. Beam?
Beam, yes.
And has Ellen joined us yet?
He's
Nope,
trying
yeah.
to.
Mr. Gronstra?
Ronster, yes.
Mr. Coughlin?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor?
Taylor, yes.
Mr. Torres?
Torres, yes.
Ms. Grund?
Grund, yes.
Mr. Glover?
Glover, yes.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Eckhoff, yes.
And Ms. Lawrence here yet? No, Ms. Hinckley and O'Keefe, yes. All right, let's go into non-public.
Adam, did you want Meg and me?
You 2 can certainly stick around. That'd be fine. Give me 1 minute to stop the recording.